Hopefully, there's some people tuning in. Hopefully, I'm not just talking to myself. It wouldn't be the first time, though. We've got a ton of great baseball games going on today, especially since a lot of them got postponed last night. So I think we have maybe 15 games on the slate today. I'm not going to be betting on all of them, and I wouldn't recommend doing so just because it can be hard to get all of them right. But however you bet, just make sure you have a good strategy. For me, it's picking a few plays, and that's why we're kind of calling this quick hits because I usually have 2 or 3 plays that I really like, and I try to concentrate all of my research into those. And let's dive right in. But first, it's my first time doing this, so if you would just give me a thumbs up or a comment, just to let the bosses know that I'm not doing a terrible job, or if I am, let me know in the comments. If there's any games that you really want me to break down, I'm definitely willing to do so. Can't say that I'm going to be playing all of them, like I said, but definitely can give you some insight in how I would handicap a game. We've got our first comment. Great. Love Reds game for today. That's one of the games that I'll be talking about. I'm not sure if I'm taking a side, but I do like a first 5 under, and it is very low. And I think a lot of that has to do with the 2 pitchers on the mound, and also the fact that it's in San Francisco. Obviously, not a hitter's ballpark, kind of a graveyard. We saw that game last night. 3-0 Reds, and it's hard not to love this Reds lineup the way that they're hitting the ball early in the season. However, I think that Kevin Gausman, really good pitcher for the Giants, and plus we've got a little revenge cooking. Kevin Gausman was actually non-tendered by the Reds a couple seasons ago, and since then he's been lights out for the Giants. His strikeout numbers last season were actually even better than Blake Snell, because I remember looking at that Padres-Giants game a couple starts ago, his first start, and I took a first 5 under in that one. And guess who gave up the runs? It was Blake Snell, not Kevin Gausman. So I like a first 5 under 3.5. Just 2 great pitchers, and I think the lineups will be quiet at least for the first 5. Not sure how I feel about the bullpens on that one. But I'm going first 5 under. It looks like we're seeing some love for the Blue Jays. Ryu has been, he's a solid starter for them as well. It's hard to play games against the Yankees. You never know which Yankees lineup is going to show up. Either the guys that hit a ton of home runs and just make you wonder why you ever took the other side, or sometimes they can strike out a lot. So thinking Kansas City has a chance today. Can we put that comment back on? Oh, here it is. A jive price. What's a jive price? Is that a live price? Let's look at that one. Who's Kansas City playing? Because Kansas City does have some good starting pitching. The Angels, that's a tough squad. Angels 6-3 so far this season. Against Dylan Bundy, that's a tough one. Danny Duffy's been good. But it's hard to go against this Angels lineup that is so good 1-9. I'd have to see the price. Do we have the price on it? I'd have to look at my phone. Let's see if I can remember my password to my DraftKings. Let's see. I'm not seeing it. Oh, plus 120, that's it? Yeah, I don't know if I'd take the Royals at plus 120. It'd need to be a lot, steeper of a price for me to go against the Angels with Dylan Bundy on the mound, I think. Thoughts on the Red Sox? The Red Sox lineup has actually been really solid. They didn't look good the first, 3 games of the season, but since then they've come on pretty strong in runs and average. Let's look at the stats for the Red Sox, because if I'm not mistaken, they've been really good as of late. I think this is against righties, because something I like to look at is the splits for teams against righties and lefties. If you look at the starting pitcher for the opposite team, who they're going against, especially against lefties. Some teams especially are a lot better against lefties as opposed to righties. Let's clear all of these splits. Let's see who's hitting well. It looks like the Red Sox are not up there when it comes. Oh, that's strikeouts. Let's go back to average. If you go to MLB.com, they've got great resources when it comes to stats. Baseball is such a stat-based game. They keep track of so many things that you can really specifically look at so many things. Yeah, the Red Sox are right behind the Dodgers when it comes to batting average. So if you think of the hard-hitting teams, you think of the Dodgers, you think of the Astros, but the Red Sox are right up there, a really solid hitting squad. I'd have to look at and see who the matchup is against, obviously. But hitting in baseball is something that never goes out of style. Obviously, it's such a help to starting pitchers. If you can get some run support, just ask Jacob deGrom. My goodness, what he's been able to do on the mound and still not get wins. Man, that's tough. I hate it for Mets fans. The torture that they go through watching him on the mound. Let's see who the the Red Sox going against the Twins. Eovaldi's probably their best starter, I would say. Um, I mean, if they can get their bats going against Maeda, I think they have a shot. I don't think that's one I'll be taking. Let's dive into some of these plays that I'm actually taking instead of me just rambling. Brewers Cubs, I'm taking the under of 7.5 runs. Not only do you have two really solid pitchers on the mound in Kyle Hendricks and Brandon Woodruff, who, oh, by the way, Woodruff took a no-hitter into the bottom of the sixth inning last time. And this game was, I think, 1-0 after 6 innings. So I'm hoping for more of the same. I know sometimes when two teams square off, within the same 2 weeks, it's a little bit tougher on the pitchers, but Kyle Hendricks has been really good against the Brewers last season, an ERA of 108 against the Brewers in 2020. And plus, these are two really poor, struggling offensive lineups. The Cubs bottom in the offensive categories across the board, on base percentage, slugging percentage, and I think average too. Last in the league by 30 points in batting average, hitting 164 as a team. And then the Brewers, if you watched that game last night, all 6 of their runs came in one really bad, the wheels came off inning against Chafin of the Cubs. So I don't see that necessarily happening again. I think both these pitchers can at least get moderate starts out of them. I'm not sure what to expect from some of these bullpens, but I'll take my chances against these two lineups that have not been very good offensively. Let's take a look at some of these comments. Parlay of the day. Absolutely not. No parlays in baseball. I think there's too many things that can go wrong. I know a lot of people love to do the big money line parlays of the favorites. I don't think so. Because if you think about baseball and you think a team that loses 100 games a season is historically bad, but that means they're winning 62 games. And if you think the worst team in the league can beat the best team in the league on any given day, it's just the way baseball is. It's not a small sample size sport, and that's just the way it is. So not a fan of parlays. Mets and Stroman today at plus 105. You know what? I stay away from double headers. I think those are tough to cap. Just leaving that out there. And plus, the Mets and run support have not been two things that go hand in hand. Tigers in an upset again today. You know what? Winning with Casey Mize is one thing, because Casey Mize is a pitcher going into the season I thought was going to have a great year. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything. Plenty of people are saying this. This is not a hot take. He was a first overall pick, and last night he showed it. 7 scoreless, I think, against this Astros hot-hitting lineup. Matthew Boyd, I don't think is going to have the same success. He has looked good in his first 2 starts of the year, but he gave up a ton of home runs last season, a ton. I think he led the league in homers given up at some point in the season. And if you have a short porch in left field and you have this Astros lineup that can hit a lot of home runs, I don't think they're going to go cold 2 nights in a row. I don't know. I just don't really like the Tigers that much. Yeah, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I would love it. I'm not really a YouTuber that says smash that like and subscribe button, 15 times, but I would appreciate it. Giolito and the White Sox beat Bieber tonight. You know what? I do like the White Sox lineup a little bit better than Cleveland. They have trouble scoring runs in general, let alone against an ace in Giolito. But I will say one thing. The Indians do not strike out a lot. They, I think, are dead last or I guess they're first in strikeouts. They don't strike out, very much. So it's a good thing to be last in the strikeout category when it comes to something like that. So striking out may not be, Giolito might not be able to strike out as many as he does in other games. However, the Indians just don't score runs. So I can see that. I don't think I'm betting on that one. I would love to just watch that one. Best picks of the day, in your opinion? I am going with 3 picks. I've got a first 5 under in the Diamondbacks and A's game, just because I like Luzardo going against Gallen. Yeah, it's Gallen's first start back since coming back from that. I think it was a wrist injury, but he was an absolute ace for the Diamondbacks last season and the year before. Having an ERA under 3 both seasons before this one is really an incredible feat, especially pitching in the NL West. Excuse me, there's a burp. And also, you've got Luzardo, a young guy that has electric stuff, and his first 2 starts were against the Dodgers and the Astros. So I think he comes back in this one with a strong outing. First 5 under 4.5. And then I already mentioned my other one, Giants Reds, first 5 under 3.5, a low number, but you're playing at a pitcher's ballpark out in San Francisco. And also Brewers Cubs, full game under 7.5. Those are my 3 plays of the day. When are you going to do a show with plus money, honey? I'm assuming you're talking about Allie. Since we're not in the same location, I don't know if we can do one live, but maybe. I'm definitely up for it. Cubbies let me down yesterday. Well, Cubs have let a lot of people down over several games this season. Baltimore over the Mariners. It depends on which game. I will say Baltimore hits lefties pretty well, and the Mariners are throwing lefties in both games today. Marlins Braves under 7.5. I'd have to look at it, but the Marlins are not good at scoring runs. Max Fried has been a little bit up and down this season, but at some point I think he's going to regress back to the mean and be his normal, ace-worthy self. And I think it's a good spot to do it against the Marlins. I've got to find the window that I'm in. But yeah, I think I've given my best plays. If you like them, let me know. If you don't, let me know. I'm definitely up for a discussion when it comes to baseball in any form or fashion. I'll be doing this every Tuesday and Wednesday. So if you want to tune in, I'll be giving a few plays in hopefully a quick window of time. I'm not going to take up a bunch of your time and ramble like I'm doing now. Yeah, quick hits coming live. What up, Craig? Well, Craig's not here. Craig's running the board, but oh, yeah. All right. There's my plays for the day. Couple first 5 unders and a full game under in the Brewers Cubs game. If you want more quick hits, be sure to tune in, every Tuesday and Wednesday morning. That's going to do it for now. Make sure and hit the like button if you like what you saw. If you didn't, leave me a comment and let me know why. But that's going to do it for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow.